FIFA just started.
Okay, there was one pitch and they did diagonal lines
Okay.
on the goal.
Yeah.
Well, it made the goal look bigger than it was as an optical
Give
illusion.
me like your 5 top tips for when it comes to lawn care to get a FIFA grade.
Okay, the entire field gets lifted and taken underground, held underground in grow lights with the exact temperature and moisture it needs. How big?
I don't know. Bonsai size.
Okay, so
The Helpful Gardeners, the podcast that digs into the buzziest plant trends and news you need to know, regardless of your growing zone. Colin is a skilled horticulturist with decades of growing experience across Canada. Brandi is the greenest of green thumbs with a love of asking questions. Welcome to our garden nook.
hey, before we start the podcast, can I show you something?
Yeah, what's going on?
So I'm super excited. Look at this. Look at this. It's continuing. Look at this.
What's going on?
So this is new. Well, sorry, I'm excited. It's not new. This is a fertilizer I used to use back in Quebec.
Fafard.
It's killer. So this was on the East Coast.
Yeah.
I don't know how old it is, but I was using it 30 years ago. It's organic. It's made from chicken manure. I love this one, Urban Gardener. This is for balcony growers, small space.
No
you don't need a
way.
huge amount of fertilizer, but it's literally
Are you serious?
so you can salt bay it.
That's so cool.
and-
Okay.
Brand new into the West.
Yeah.
And I think all the people that came from Quebec and Ontario, when they see this, they're going to be as excited as I am.
Yeah, no doubt. You know, I'm looking at it and I feel like when it tells you on the front of the bag, this is for vegetable gardens.
Yep.
It's not like we're trying to make you guess what this is for. Like if you were growing a specific thing, then you know, okay, I need to look for this specific fertilizer. What's that one again?
That one is the all-purpose. So the base fertilizer in it is chicken manure and it's organic.
Oh, you're kidding. We have all of these in store.
All of them. We've got different size flowers. We have the Urban Gardener. We've got the all-purpose. And family-owned business. They focused on the East Coast where they were from, and now they're finally expanding, and I genuinely couldn't be happier.
Oh, that's so cool. Okay, well, I'm going to go take a look downstairs in the greenhouse then and grab some fertilizer.
When you garden this, yeah, you got a new fertilizer.
Yeah, okay. Fafard.
Fafard.
Oh, I like it. Do you think you can bonsai grass?
No.
No? I love how you just shoot me down right away. But I was so...
Bonsai.
Okay, hold on. Hear me out, okay? FIFA just started.
Okay, right.
I am so impressed by what the pitch looks like.
Oh, yeah, they're immaculate.
Like, I'm sure there are teams,
Oh, yeah.
you know?
There's
and
head groundskeepers, and then there's teams
gosh,
beneath them.
honestly.
There's people who do the lines. When you really start watching,
Mhm.
okay, what you'll see is it is highly unlikely that any two pitches have the same pattern.
Oh,
And there are certain pitch patterns that are illegal.
what?
Yep. If I remember rightly, there was one pitch and they did diagonal lines
Okay.
on the goal.
Yeah.
Well, it made the goal look bigger than it was as an optical illusion.
No, so it
people's-
played with their eyesight.
People's shots were less accurate because they're following path lines.
Oh my goodness.
So there's actually certain patterns that you can't do.
Huh.
And there's certain patterns that, like, some of them will put in circles. Some of them will put in patterns. The traditional are the lines.
Mhm.
Some people will do almost like a tartan cross. Like, it's very involved.
So you're telling me this is how they're going to keep me interested.
Yeah, you're going to.
I just need to. I bet you there's like gambling and stuff all about it too. Like I wonder what the pitch is going to
you know
look
what?
like.
Nowadays, I guarantee there is.
Honestly.
Yep.
Okay, so I kind of went on the FIFA website. They actually have this. I don't know if this is for the actual FIFA this year, but they have like a design section.
Okay.
So they talk all about the pitch, and they say the choice of turf will depend on the needs and resources of each project. So there's 3 types to choose from. They've got natural grass with hybrid reinforcement. So it's predominantly natural grass with some synthetic fibers added. And then there's also synthetic or artificial turf. So I guess depending on like,
I don't think official FIFA games are allowed to be played on synthetic 100%. I think you can have your training pitches, and I think there are some extreme exceptions where like maybe countries in Africa where they're like, we don't have enough water to drink, let alone grow grass.
Yes.
So there are some exceptions, but like say Europe where absolutely you can grow grass.
Yeah.
You are not allowed 100% artificial. I believe that may have changed.
Interesting. Yeah. They said FIFA's position artificial turf as an alternative to natural grass is well established. The FIFA quality program for football turf defines what is acceptable and provides guidance on installation, testing, maintenance, that kind of thing.
Okay.
So yeah, you're totally right. Like it could be just up to the officials for that particular FIFA, I guess.
The Real Madrid. So Real Madrid are a huge team in Spain. Probably the biggest team in the world.
Yeah.
In fact, I'm going to take that back. They are the biggest team in the world.
Yeah.
I think their turf, their pitch cost close to €1 billion.
Why?
Because it's a huge stadium, huge. I think it seats 125,000 people. Okay, the entire field gets lifted and taken underground, held underground in grow lights with the exact temperature and moisture it needs. Then they can replace it with almost like a concrete, like a form.
Yeah.
So they can do concerts and events and other things there. And then the whole pitch will lift back up and the concrete goes underground. So this is all segmented and built onto huge, colossal rollers because it holds soil and earth. And they move it. I think I could be wrong on this. I watched the whole video on it a while ago.
Yeah.
But it's like 30 feet underground, all lit with the correct light, and the lights are specifically timed, and they go on. Just the field was pushing close to $1 billion.
I can imagine probably FIFA wouldn't be that far behind.
I'm going to just jump in here and quickly correct you.
Okay.
FIFA is the overall body that governs everything in football.
Okay.
So for Real Madrid to have done that, they would have had to have had that plan approved by FIFA.
Oh.
So you have your individual teams. Okay, be that the England, Canadian national team, then, or Newcastle United, Real Madrid, whatever. Then they're overseen by the FA, which in England is the country's governing body. In France, it's the FFF, the Fédération de Football Français. In Spain, it is La Liga.
Oh, my goodness.
Then each of those are overseen, if you're in Europe, by UEFA. And then UEFA and all of the regional governing bodies are overseen by FIFA. So FIFA is the top of the football pyramid. So every decision that is made has to be sanctioned at the end of the day by FIFA. Now, FIFA will let their own governing bodies, they know the rules, they can do it. But if a dispute goes too far, it can go directly to FIFA. So when you're saying FIFA know everything. You cannot have an official sanctioned football game unless it's sanctioned by FIFA.
I guess it makes sense then why they would have like everything kind of down, because you're protecting a brand at the end of the day, right?
And it is the number one sport on the planet.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, it's the official sport of the United Nations.
Yeah.
It is the number one played. So the Super Bowl, I think the last Super Bowl had 340 million people watch it. Super Bowl. The last regular league game between Manchester United and Liverpool had 1.2 billion.
Wow.
The World Cup will probably draw around 3 to 4 billion people.
Yeah, no doubt. So I was thinking, oh my gosh, you know how we create things like Japanese maple trees bonsai, and I went on you're gonna hate me for doing this, but I went on Gemini and I was just like, help me flesh out this idea. Because I think I'm going to go into the podcast and Colin's going to make fun of me. And look what happened. And it did. And so I went in and, okay, I just want you to like fact check this and see if it's even plausible.
Okay. Because
here's the thing. You go to Gemini and you ask about it, but you should still talk to an expert before you attempt it.
Yep.
So you want a thin and ultra fine grass.
So what are we?
We're building a stadium.
How big?
I don't know. Bonsai size.
Okay. So
like small?
But so
Shoebox?
Bonsai, shoebox. That's okay. Perfect. Now we have dimensions
Sorry,
and
I
depth.
didn't know that there was also FIFA guidelines or UEFA or UEFA, FIFA, UEFA.
And then, well, the North American one is
Fafard.
CONCACAF. Fafard. It sounds like you can say it with a very posh English accent.
Literally,
Okay, so bonsai is the act of taking a tree. That's why we bonsai trees. It has to be something with a woody stem that keeps growing, and we miniaturize it by stripping the bark and cutting it back and pruning it and tying it and restricting growth.
Yeah.
So you can't do that with grass, okay? Because grass, every time you cut it, the same size blade is going to come up from the DNA. So you could spend hours trimming it and making it a very fine needle point, and as it grows, the base is going to be its regular thickness. Where with the bonsai tree, constantly shaping it and restricting it, and some bonsai trees are hundreds of years old. Hundreds of years old. You couldn't do that with grass.
You can't really do that with grass.
So we're talking...
Could you use what if you use cat grass, or they recommended creeping bent grass?
Yeah, so if you're doing something in a really small space, you wouldn't want to use a broadleaf, a thick leaf grass. You'd want to use a very, very fine one. Absolutely, it can be done.
Okay.
I've grown grass in a paper drink cup, just for funsies.
Okay, so see, there you go.
Yeah.
And then it says to build the stadium base, you'll want drainage holes.
Yeah.
You'll want a mix of silica sand, peat mix on the bottom, and then coarse sand grit on the top. And then on the top, you'll want your soil. Plant your seeds, and then do basically everything that you would normally do when it comes to seed starting. Yep. Here's where I don't understand. So then they say, I don't know what this is. It's a strip of cardboard and...
Oh, just which way you're brushing the grass.
Oh,
okay, so it's like when you've got suede or velour or something, and you rub it one way and it goes dark.
Oh, so this is saying, and then you want to rub it in a certain direction to get the lines.
So years ago, we had a client, and they had a really cool. They had quite a large property, but one part of that property was a round brick wall, perfectly circular, quite big. I'd say maybe a 40-foot diameter, and it was perfectly round, and it was grass. And one day, just for fun, I took the lawnmower and I dropped 2 wheels. So normally we cut the grass on height 5. Now, people would say, can you make it a little shorter? Whatever, but 5 was our standard. So I left 2 wheels on 5 and dropped the other 2 wheels to 3. And then instead of cutting the grass in straight strips, I did a concentric circle all the way around. And the client looked at it. So the grass was graded. So it had almost like a depth to it, because they would look at it from the balcony. And they were like, every time you cut that, can you cut it that way from now on? So it's the way you cut the grass and the way. So when they cut the grass on those fields, they've got highly specialized razor sharp mowers that have rollers and combs and brushes behind them. So the way they cut the grass and the way they use the measurements, apparently some of them now use GPS laser guidance to cut the grass. So every line is perfect. So they'll cut every strip this way, then they'll turn around and they'll cut every strip that way. So the grass is forced to go a certain way. Then it's catching the sun, and that's how you get all the shapes and whatnot.
Oh, that's cool. Okay. Yeah. So we should probably end the episode with also catering to those folks who maybe don't want a bonsai, but they're like, just tell me how to do this outside. So how can we do, give me your 5 top tips for when it comes to lawn care to get a UEFA grade.
No, FIFA is correct.
Oh my gosh, this is English language. If you want a football stadium style grass.
Oh my God. Get rid of the weeds. Okay. Any weeds you've got, the reason why is unsightly. Again, we're looking at that. But one of the reasons why they don't like weeds is a broadleaf weed. You have a higher chance of slipping on it because it's more surface area. So
never thought about that.
Yeah, broadleaf weeds. That's why they don't like them on any football field. And I'm not even talking professional. I'm talking amateur. They don't like them because they can be slippier.
Okay, so that's fair.
Get rid of all your weeds. Now, if you have a ton of weeds, you might want to get rid of all of the grass, start fresh, in which case you're going to put down sod. Okay. And you can get that Kentucky blue. That's most what you're going for because most football stadiums don't have roofs on them. They're wide open so the sunlight and the elements can hit the grass.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to want to make sure that you're constantly overseeding, that you're constantly keeping that grass thick and lush and looking beautiful. Fertilize.
Okay.
Water and cut properly. And when you cut, we used to cut our lawns. And again, this would lend itself to FIFA. So let's say you've got a perfect square twice around the edge. Okay. Then you stop. So I start in this corner and I go once, twice. Now I've got a width. I get back to this corner and I cut that way, turn around, line up on my line and cut perfectly the other way. You use the double width here for the place to turn your mower around. So you've got a perfect border, which would be your outside for where they take the throw-ins and whatnot. And then you would have perfect lines on the inside. You want to have a healthy lawn, however that looks. So no weeds, lots of overseeding or sod, fertilize, overall maintenance cutting, and lots of water.
Okay. I love that.
Yeah.
That seems pretty doable.
And I think if you wanted to do I'm not going to call it bonsai because it's not, but if you were having a FIFA party,
okay.
if you're doing a World Cup event at your house and you're showing the game, you want to do it, that would make a really fun charcuterie board.
They absolutely would,
right?
Hey?
What would work ideally for that? Same shape, everything else would be a bonsai pot. You've got the correct depth.
Yeah.
You've got the correct shape, and then you could take some chalk paint and you could do the little line. So when I was a kid, obviously I loved my football, my soccer. My mum made me a birthday cake that was a Newcastle United soccer field.
Aww.
And she did the two different colors, green for the lines in the grass, and then she did the white icing to draw it all out. And then there's a game in England, you flick the players onto the ball. It's called Subbuteo. Everybody's played it. Everybody in England, I should say. And my mum bought those little players in the Newcastle United colors, and she set them all up for me. There was goals, there was little corner flags, and I had a soccer-themed birthday cake.
Oh, see? Okay, so who's hosting, you or me? Are you making the bonsai or am I?
It doesn't matter who's hosting. I know you'll be like, so I'm challenging you to grow the charcuterie board.
Hey, and then I'll host the party because Brad wants to get out there and make the lines.
There you go. So all kinds of win happening here.
This podcast is brought to you by Golden Acre Home and Garden. Find seasonal inspiration for your home and garden in Calgary, Alberta year-round. Visit goldenacre.ca. The comments and opinions expressed by the Helpful Gardeners on this show are our own and do not necessarily reflect the views of Golden Acre Home and Garden. For more information on everything we covered today and to leave us a voice note, visit goldenacre.ca/podcast. The Helpful Gardeners are on Instagram at The Helpful Gardeners Pod. Keep on growing, gardeners!
Hosting the Helpful Gardeners has been extremely helpful in my gardening journey, but I have a secret weapon that I really want to show you today, and that is the Yard Smart program, developed in partnership between the City of Calgary and the Calgary Horticultural Society. It's so great. I wish more cities across the country had something like this because they have free online guides for different garden types. So a sun-loving garden or a perennial garden or a trees and shrubs garden or a pollinator-friendly garden. And I love their free videos over on their website, and they cover different topics like gardening on a budget or starting a garden bed from scratch, which if you've been following the podcast this year, that has been my main garden goal. You have to go online and check it out. Head to calgary.ca/yardsmart, or you can head in-store to Golden Acre Home and Garden here in Calgary, Alberta, and pick up your free copies of their guides today. Happy planting!